Chapter 1. The Disappearance. The storm struck Blackwater Cove with a fury that seemed almost unnatural. Sheets of rain lashed against the windows of the town's narrow brick buildings, and the distant roar of waves crashing against the cliffs was barely audible over the howling wind. In the midst of the chaos, a single figure hurried through the empty streets, her coat pulled tight around her to ward off the chill. Claire Matthews, a young journalist with more determination than success to her name, was used to late nights at the Blackwater Gazette. She worked tirelessly, chasing stories that rarely led anywhere significant, and tonight had been no different. The storm had caught her unprepared, leaving her umbrella a mangled wreck after the first gust. She cursed under her breath as she trudged home, her soaked boots slipping on the rain-slick cobblestones. It was during this miserable walk that her phone buzzed in her pocket. Pausing under the awning of a closed bakery, she fished it out, brushing her dripping hair from her face. The name on the screen froze her in place. Lydia Cole. The two women had once been inseparable. As children, they'd built forts in the woods and shared whisper secrets under blankets. But as adults, life had taken them down different paths. Lydia had always been the risk-taker, the one who dove headfirst into trouble, while Claire had stayed closer to the shore. Their last conversation had ended in a bitter argument, a memory Claire had tried to bury. Hesitation gave way to curiosity, and she swiped to answer. "Lydia?" Claire's voice was steady, though her pulse quickened. For a moment there was nothing but static, faint and crackling. Then came the voice, low, trembling, and barely audible over the storm. "Claire, I need your help." The line went dead. Claire stared at the phone, her heart thudding in her chest. She tried calling back, but the call went straight to voicemail. Something about Lydia's tone, the desperation in her words, cut through the lingering resentment and filled Claire with dread. Without a second thought, she turned and began heading toward Lydia's apartment. The journey through the storm was harrowing. The narrow streets of Blackwater Cove became rivers, the rain blurring streetlights into pale smudges. By the time Claire reached Lydia's building, her coat was soaked through, her breath coming in short, panicked bursts. Lydia lived in an old brick building on the edge of town, its facade weathered and cracked from years of exposure to the salty air. The stairwell creaked ominously as Claire ascended, the dim bulb overhead flickering. When she reached Lydia's door, she knocked loudly, calling her friend's name. No response. The silence was suffocating, broken only by the faint dripping of water from Claire's coat onto the wooden floor. She tried the handle and found it unlocked. The door swung open, revealing an apartment in chaos. Books and papers littered the floor, as if someone had been searching for something in a frenzy. A chair lay overturned near the kitchenette, and the shattered remains of a coffee mug glistened on the tiles. On the coffee table, a half-burned candle flickered weakly, its lavender scent mingling with an undercurrent of something metallic.